Good evening. I'd like to call our meeting to order. We have the prayer and the pledge by Councilwoman Natalie Lopez.
Oh, I didn't take you out.
I was like, I
You
did such
a good job.
such a good job. I'll do it again. Please bow your heads, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Amen. And I'd like to have just a brief moment of silence for our former governor, Kathleen Babineaux, Blanco, and also for our former council member, Mr. Lewis, who unfortunately lost a son this weekend in our city. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Pro Tem Dan Doyle.
Here.
Councilmember Natalie Lopez.
Present.
Councilmember Marlon Lewis.
Here.
Councilmember David Broussard.
Here.
Councilmember Deidre Ledbetter. Councilmember Sherrod Gidron.
Present.
Councilmember Dustin Swear.
Here. Thank you. Item 1 is public comment, and I don't think we have any comment cards. So we'll move on to item 2.
Acceptance of the minutes of the August 6, 2019 meeting as published on August 13, 2019.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Councilman Lewis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Gidron. Is there any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please vote your machines.
Have them do it again. I think I shut them off.
Please vote your machines again. Thank you all very much.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, item 3.
Persons to address the council. First, we have Mr. Joe LeBlanc announcing his candidacy for Iberia Parish Sheriff.
My name is Joe LeBlanc, as you just said, and I want to thank y'all for having me here tonight. So that way we can let everybody know that the next sheriff, with y'all help, will be Joe LeBlanc. And I also have experience both in criminal and narcotic investigation. I was an agent with the U.S. Customs Drug Task Force. I was an agent with the 16th Judicial Drug Task Force for Mr. Phil Haney. Drug is a big problem on the street, and we need to get it stopped. And what I want to say here tonight, if you read on a card of a candidate, read the entire card. Don't just, oh, well, yeah, he got 20 or 40 or 50, 60 years. See what he or she has done for the community in other ways. Because if they help the community in other ways, they're going to continue to do it. And this is, what we need. I coached Little League Baseball for 26 years. I worked with the Colombian Squires youth group. I had a youth group for the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office that was aged from 13 to 21 years of age. And they went and get other kids who had D's and F's and brought them in because they knew they had to maintain a C average in school and they wanted to stay with their friends, so they brought them up. We need to work with people, not against. The Sheriff's Department caused this city a lot of headache in the last 2 administrations. And I'm not saying this because I'm running for sheriff. I'm saying it because I know. Because the sheriff that I worked for was the best people person this parish ever had. And he had no law enforcement experience at all when he was elected. but he loved to help people. And that's what it's about. Helping all the people, not just some of the people. You know, the elderly, nobody looks into the elderly no more in law enforcement. We had a group when I was a cop that would look into them. Our two pet peeves at that time was the youth and the elderly, because the youth was too young and they would get pressured into go and sell dope. And the elderly would get things stolen from them. So we need to put this back on the program. We need to put also the DARE program back into schools. That's very important. They got rid of too many good things that this parish needs, and we need to bring back. And it won't cost our parish a penny more. We just reconstruct the spending and make it all fit in. And also too, the city votes for a sheriff. But you can't see the sheriff working in the city, but yet he's the chief law enforcement officer of the parish. So if people are already paying their tax dollars, why can't they pick up the phone and say, hey, sheriff's office, I need your help? You know, maybe the city might be short-handed at the time. We don't have to charge them to come help them. It's called working together. Working together, we're going to stop all what has been going on in the last 28 years when we did not have good law enforcement. And I'll be the first one to tell y'all we did. But we need to start working as community policing, because the public is eyes and ears for the sheriff's department or the city police that you don't have to pay a salary to. All you got to do is treat them with respect, and they're going to pick up that phone and call you. Because they did it for me when I was in detectives for Mr. Romo. You know? Because when I was out and about, I'd see somebody cutting their grass, I'd stop and I'd talk to them. Give them my sheriff's office card and say, hey, anything we can do for y'all, let us know. We lost this, but we're going to gain it back to the blessing of the good Lord who got me to run 7 times. Yes, this is my 7th time running. Because the majority of you registered voters, and I'm going to tell you that the majority, the amount is 47,429 registered voters. Out of that, 30,000 don't go vote. That's why we have problems. So what door are you going to knock door to door? You see that they don't even care. But everybody has 10 friends. Who has 10 friends? So if y'all believe in a person, tell your 10 friends who tell 10 friends. That's better than knocking on any door. Because your friends are going to believe in you because y'all been friends a long time. And another thing we're going to do is that youth group that I had from 1983 to 1994 for the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office, that's the first thing I want to start back up. Because if you keep the youth busy, you're going to keep them out of trouble. And I had it where from 1983 to 1994 when I left, and at Scottorama and law enforcement, they took the Presidential Citation Award 5 years in a row. That's the highest award you can get. You see? I guide them, you know, but they got this award. Not Joe. And I was proud of them. Because they teach others. And I'm asking you here today, please read the back of my card. Don't just read into law enforcement. See what I've done in helping out the community who help others. You know, I volunteer all my services in my electrical business to St. Francis Diner, Council on Aging, United Way, and many local churches, as well as SNAP. Anybody of need that help others, I help them. Because I haven't seen a U-Haul yet following a hearse with all the junk you can buy with the money you make. So you best do something good that the good Lord sent you on this earth to do. Is to help others. And my number's 89 on the ballot, and I appreciate it. Like I said, if y'all read the card, if y'all like what y'all read, give it to a friend, because that's what's going to make the difference. And I want to thank y'all again.
Thank you, Jim. Madam Clerk, 3B.
Dana Dugas announcing his candidacy for Louisiana House of Representatives.
Good evening,
Evening.
Lady Councilman, Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor, Maxine. I'm Dana Dugas. I'm running for State Representative, District 48. You know, people who know me, I am who I am. I'm going to run for the people, not for me. I've done everything I wanted to do in life already. There's nothing out there I need on my obituary that's not going to fill up already. But I want to go out there and I want to work for the people. It's time, you know, somebody forgets about all the politics and everything else that's going on in this world, and, you know, worry about the people back home. And I have some great big shoes to fill. You know, Taylor Barra's done an awesome job. You know, and the representatives before that, all the way back to Boaco. You know, we've had great representation in Baton Rouge. And I want to keep that tradition alive. And I want to go to Baton Rouge and help the city of New Iberia and Iberia Parish. There's 3 parishes in this state that have an airport and a water port. New Orleans, Lake Charles is booming. I want to go to Baton Rouge and help our local economy, help the mayor, the city council, help the parish president and the parish council to get Iberia Parish as best as we can get it. We have a beautiful town here. We have a beautiful community. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else besides Iberia Parish. You know, so you know, that's what I'm going to do. I gave y'all my phone, my card. My phone number's on it. When I'm being Baton Rouge, my phone is going to always be on. When people's going to call me, if I'm in a meeting, I'm going to call them back. I plan on sleeping at home every night, most of the time. I want to drive home, and that's when I'm going to call my people back and talk to them. And, you know, and I'm not going to solve every problem out there. You know, I'll be lying to y'all if y'all think I can do it, and if y'all think y'all can do everything, just always fix every problem. It's not. But we can work, and we can try. And that's what most people want us to do, just try to be there for them. And so that's what I'm running for. Have any questions? Like I said, I'll be there to, you know, I'll be there to work for the people. We want to, together we can move them on. You know, if we fight each other, we could just be spinning our wheels in the mud. So again, Dana Dugas, State Representative, District 48. Think about me on October 12th. Thank you all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, 3C.
Reverend Zach Mitchell, Dr. Joanna Rochester, and Zach Mitchell Jr. giving an update on the children and youth camp.
Good evening, Council. Glad to see you tonight, and glad that you're well. And our presentation tonight is going to be in 2 parts. So let me just, I'll come back and close it out. And our administrator so graciously bowed to the side to give me her time, so that Dr. Rochester. So here comes Zach Jr.
All right, thank you, Council. We had a fantastic camp, really enjoyed it, and we'd like to start off with a video just to kind of summarize exactly, to visualize some of the experiences the kids had, the fun that we had, and then I'll wrap up and give you a quick overview of how the camp went, a couple numbers, and things like that. So let's take a look at that. Is there? Okay, sorry for the audio difficulties, but if it does come in, but I'd just like to for y'all to take a quick look at the actual visuals of it, and I guess I'll do some narration then. Okay, all right. So this is the entrance of the camp. You'll be seeing a couple of the different things. So kids arriving, we had transportation to pick them up from their homes and transport them to different locations. Some giant Jenga there. Oh, there's the mayor. All right, there at Palmetto Island. Some games inside West End. There at the schools. Some fun water balloon games there, and at Palmetto Island again. Some of the arts and crafts there in the West End. Actually taking a little nature hike there. More prayer at the schools. That was a lot of fun, actually, there. And actually, us praying at Anderson Middle. More games. There we go. Back at the West End. A handsome guy right there. Okay. All right, we'll stop there. All right, great picture there. Okay. All right, so Camp Eichel was a success. We had a fantastic time. We had average every day around 132 campers. It was fantastic. So kids from age 7 or 6 or 7 all the way to age 16. It was fantastic. And so a quick overview of the camp. It was a 4-day camp. We had orientation on Monday evening where we invited parents just to kind of see exactly what's going to happen the entire week. On on Tuesday and Friday, we remained in the West End there, and so we had games, activities where we went through a schedule, and then on Tuesday and Wednesday we alternated days. Half of the camp actually went out to Palmetto Island State Park, had a fantastic time. It was fantastic to see the kids canoeing, learn survival skills, enjoying themselves there. And then the other half of the camp was actually in the city. Actually, the mayor was gracious enough to host us here, and actually the kids had a fantastic time here, and actually got down to see the city attorney, did different things. City prosecutor. And did things like that, as well as pray for the local schools, schools that actually a lot of those students attended. So they had a fantastic time with that. Every day we started around 10 o'clock, had a great time of ministry. Our verse for the entire camp was Ephesians 2:10. We are God's masterpiece, created anew in Christ Jesus to do the good things that he planned for us long ago. And we broke that down every day, and they had a fantastic time with that. They had arts and crafts. As you saw, some games there. Actually, of course, lunch was always the highlight. They always liked to eat, as well as I did as well. And they just had a fantastic time. We had great help. A lot of the church community came together to sponsor that, and we had great support from the community, not only donating food, beverages, but their time. And it was just an exciting time for the kids and for us to see them pour into the kids. So kids had a fantastic time with all the different activities that we did, but particularly getting out of the city was a highlight for them. Not only were they excited about getting out of just the West End and doing things in the park, but really being able to see government in action and just experience something different. The theme of the camp was Camp Iqua, I Know Who I Am. And too often kids are told who they are and what they should be doing. But them to actually have the opportunity to discover who they are and what they actually can do was really exciting. I'd like to highlight one story in particular. I know my time's limited, but really with the kids out in Palmetto Island, a lot of them have never been outside of the city or even to Abbeville or even in a canoe. So to see them get in the canoe and to get to go out there and actually turn in a circle for around an hour just trying to paddle, it was hilarious, but it was something that they were really excited about. It's like, I was out there, I saw an alligator. Did you see the alligator? I saw the alligator. And they were excited about that. And they were telling their friends like, man, I did that. You know, we could canoe and we could do this. So when we going back? When we going back canoeing? We want to do this. And so it just really impressed upon us the need to really follow up and really have something great for these kids. So we're excited about what's going to be happening in the future. And we just appreciate your support in letting us do this and facilitating this within the city. So we're looking to make it bigger and better every year and add something to it. But we appreciate your help in making this happen. So it was a success, and we thank you again.
Thank you, sir. I'll only be with you just a moment. Want to go through the folders that we provided for you. We wanted to really bless you with with a picture that we took here. I cannot tell you enough how impressed the kids were to be here and to have the mayor and Captain Babin address them. It was a wonderful, wonderful session. Now, when we came with the older kids first, but when we brought the younger kids, now they had about 100 questions. We had to shut the thing down because they were asking question after question. They were on it, and they had a great time. We went down to the second floor of the courtroom. A lot of the kids had never been in the courtroom before, so that was great. So we just wanted to provide you and let you know that really we thank the mayor and we thank the chief of police as well as Captain Babin for being a part of that. It made a tremendous impact on a lot of the children, because before we got here, one of the kids asked me, Pastor Zach, are we really going to see the mayor? What did he look like? I said, well, you're about to find out. I didn't describe you, Mayor. I just let him see you. Okay. Secondly, in your folder, we provide you with a copy of our budget and those things, because we want you to see just what we do. We really thank God for the Iberia Christian Ministerial Federation, as well as you see the churches. Really a shout out to our businesses and community sponsorship. We see that our New Iberia City government is there, and then those personal people that provided in the camp. And we see that our budget was right almost $7,400, and so far we have contributed $6,200 to that. And so we thank God that we want to retire, that debt out. And so we respectfully thank you for helping us do that. Also, what's critical in our folder is a sheet that it starts off with community stakeholders, and I'll read it real quick. It says, community stakeholders, due to the incredible times we live in and the atmosphere of division among people groups, how could you help us, pastors of Iberia Parish, extend our reach to all the people groups of our area? That is important that we do that. It's important that we touch these groups to bring them together, to see that we do all bleed red and we can care for one another, and do those type things that will tremendously help us. If I care for someone, I really don't want to shoot them. And we need to put something in our young people concerning that. You have a flyer in for our all-night prayer, which is coming up this Friday night there at House of Prayer Church, 1303 West St. Peter, Pastor Philip Hill. We have these once a month, and it is it's necessary. We continue to cover our city in prayer, and we continue to stand in the gap for our people, and we thank God for being and giving us that cover, but also empowering all of us to do what we can do. It really, we know it's been time for us to do something, and we are. Let's stay the course, please. Whatever you do, do not allow yourself to be defeated and give in to anything. That's what the enemy wants you to do, to quit, to shut down, to think that you're not making a difference. It's a lie. Don't entertain the lie. You are making a difference. Included in the folder is one praise report, and I want to say this. This is from Reverend Larry Brown. He's from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. We were, in closing my time, we were blessed to have 7 other missionaries from various different states, from Texas, from North Carolina, from Michigan, and they all came to this camp because they felt a tug from God to be a part of it, and was tremendous. The camp could not have succeeded without them. And they had a heart for these kids. They have a heart for this city, and prayer is still going forward for this city. Last but not least, you have some sheets in there. We already have August 2020. We already have the camp date in there. We're building toward it. We're looking on making a greater impact in this city, reaching more kids concerning that. Any questions? I usually miss that part.
Questions?
No questions.
Can't thank you enough.
All right,
Ms. Fogg,
thank you.
Yes,
Quick comment.
sure.
I just wanted to say thank you, but I hope that, I don't know, y'all might be aware, because I know y'all pay attention to everything. But we're hoping by next year that we'll have kayaks in the bayou and we'll be able to host you in the summer.
Yeah.
So that's something
Excellent.
underground working on with the mayor, and we're hoping to make that happen. And so I'm waiting for political season to get over so then I can go after everybody's money again.
Thank you.
Strategy.
And Dustin he's gonna rename it once the canoes come. What is it called?
Camp Kayaki?
There you go.
Any other discussion? Thank you all very much. We have two items that we need to expand the agenda.
On item number 3, for persons to address the council, we'd like to add item D, David Broussard to address the public and council on the passing of Kathleen Blanco, and Mayor Freddie DeCourt to address the public and the council on the passing of Garen Paul Atkinson Lewis.
Make a unanimous motion?
Okay,
Unanimous motion?
we could do a unanimous motion. Okay, so we have a unanimous motion.
Yes.
All right.
Unanimous
Do we
vote.
get a unanimous second? No, now. Please vote your machines, I guess. Please vote again.
Yeah, do it
We're
again.
having some technical problems tonight. Yeah,
Hey.
the button fell off. Please vote.
Okay.
Thank y'all. All right, I'd like to call on David Broussard on the first side.
Reflections on the passing of Kathleen Babineaux Blanco, my first cousin. I wish to reflect on some of the achievements of the former Louisiana Governor Kathleen Babineaux Blanco, who recently passed away. The place of her birth was a small community of Coteau, situated in Iberia Parish. Kathleen made political history when she was elected as the first woman governor of Louisiana. All during her life, Kathleen often made reference to family members who had positive influence in her life. Kathleen married Raymond Blanco, who relative calls Coach Raymond Blanco, who became the driving force in shaping her political career. Raymond's unwavering and immeasurable support of Kathleen cannot be overstated. Kathleen's political career spans many years in the Louisiana State Legislature. She also served 2 terms as Lieutenant Governor of Louisiana. Kathleen Blanco's greatest political achievement was getting elected as the first woman governor of Louisiana. Kathleen Babineaux Blanco will be long remembered as being not only a truly great person from Iberia Parish, but also, in her own right, a good public servant serving as a member in the Louisiana State Legislature and as the first woman governor of Louisiana. Credit is given to Governor Blanco for improving much of Louisiana infrastructure and life for the people and citizens in the state of Louisiana. She will be sadly missed, and she will not be forgotten. Thank you.
Thanks, Broussard. Any other comments?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to comment because I got a chance to meet her on several occasions. She was a lifelong Democrat. And so far, I'm a lifelong Democrat. We served together on Democratic State Central Committee. we also honored her in 2000 and I think it was 11 at the Sliman at our Democratic Parish Executive Committee banquet. We honored her, and I got a chance to meet her. In which at that banquet, she introduced us to John Bell Edwards. It may have been not 2011, but we honored her. And she was just a nice person, very approachable. I never thought I would ever get a chance to meet a governor, because I wasn't an elected official then. And, you know, she embraced me. I told her who my aunt was. She remembered my aunt, you know, and it just feels good. And I actually got an opportunity to meet her daughter at the LMA convention. She was warm and inviting. So it's just good people, man, and she's going to be missed. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was under her administration that we got the capital outlay money that went to your project, overpass project, that eventually this council, and I think 3 or 4 of y'all was on this council was there, and y'all moved it to the Armanco Canal.
Yes.
So, you know, she's been very valuable to this community, and just, you know, it was a pleasure knowing her, and her legacy must live on, you know, and that's all I have on that. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment.
Yes.
I just wanted to agree with what Marlon said. The first time that I did meet her was the groundbreaking ceremony for the Blue Dog Park that we did this year. And I thought so too. I was like, wow, she's a approachable person. I thought she was a sweet soul. And that was the first time I got a chance to meet a governor as well, which was John Bell Edwards at the time, and then our former governor, Kathleen Babineaux Blanco. So my thoughts and prayers go out to the Babineaux and Blanco family as well. So I just wanted to add that too, and I'm grateful that I got a chance to meet her in my district as well.
Great. Anything further? Yes, Dan.
Yeah, we were lucky, and believe it or not, me and David and my mom's family, we were related. Yeah. People don't know that, but we are.
Cousins.
Yeah, cousins. And one thing about her, you mentioned it, she was so accessible. She used to like to fish. My dad and her husband used to fish with my dad a lot. And but she was accessible, and she did anything she could. And if she couldn't, she would let you know. But I think that was one of the best governors that, and she didn't have the chance. The hurricane really messed up where she got voted out the next election, but she was something that really could have done bigger things for not only Iberia, but Iberia Parish and Acadiana. And she will be missed, and such a family they were. And we got to pray for Coach and his daughter, because she was the backbone with Coach behind it to make her who she was and how she served this community. Thank you.
Anything further? I'll just say that I met Kathleen when Pierce Melton, my partner on our architectural firm, supported her for Public Service Commissioner, and backed her then and had a long working relationship with her when she was Lieutenant Governor, and she has done so much for this community and that she loves so much, and we reap the benefits of that relationship, and that she was from here for many, many years. So, you know, she certainly will be missed, and she has contributed greatly, and I'm excited about the museum exhibit that is coming in the next phase of the museum that is going to be built to honor her. They'll have an office there set up, her desk, some other memorabilia from her career, and I think that's going to be fitting. We also, don't forget, have a plaque coming downtown that is on order that will let everyone know that she was the first female governor from here, and that'll be coming downtown, placed right next to the plaque of the first African-American doctor, female doctor, who is also from here. So that will be coming in the coming months, so she will long not be forgotten. Thank y'all for that. We move on to the next item. This one's really sad. Garen Paul Lewis, son of Shudu Lewis, former city councilman, now school board member, was killed on Friday night. Shudu called me yesterday and asked me to please announce the services. They'll be on the 24th which is this Saturday at the Lighthouse Mission Baptist Church, 321 Center Street. There's a rosary at 7 in the morning, and then visitation, and then the service begins at 11. Been in contact with him on a regular basis. You know, the police are working on this. It is certainly a tragedy, a life cut way too short, but he asked me to just announce this, keep his family in your prayers, as I'm sure we all are. And, you know, it's a sad circumstance. We'll get through it. I have all the confidence in the world that our police department will bring justice for his family, and the sooner the better. Any comments? No. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I got to give my condolences to Shadu
I understand.
and his family. You know, somebody called me and told me it happened in my district, and I was like, it happened in our city. You know, it's not important where it happened, it's important that it happened, and we definitely have to come together, and it's got to stop, and you know, it's just, it's a tragedy, as you already stated, Mayor. My prayers are definitely with Shadu and his family, and I'm gonna make a public cry out to anybody that has any information. Please do the right thing and turn it over to the authorities, because I know if it was my son, I would be out there shaking trees and turning up rocks and doing everything I need to do. So, you know, and the kid came to my barber shop. He actually came to my barber shop. He was a great kid, a beautiful kid. You know, somebody called me and asked me, what kind of kid was he? I tell you what, look at his picture. How does he look? Oh, he's cute. He's an athlete. He looks smart. I said, well, that's what kind of kid he was. Very intelligent, very mannerable, and just a nice kid, you know. And like you said, Mayor, life cut too short, too soon, and it's a tragedy, you know. We just got to band together and pray for each other and hope that things like this don't happen again. We're living in some perilous times, you know. I'm going to stop.
Thank you very much. Mr. Broussard.
Yesterday, I met up with Shudu at senior high, and he asked one thing only, for prayers to get through this. We all served with him. We had our differences, but this is hitting home, so we wish him the best. And everybody say prayers.
Thank you, Broussard. Excuse me.
Got a chance to talk with Shadu on today, returned my through text communication, and I didn't really know his son very well, so I got a chance to talk with you, Councilman Lewis, and ask you a little bit about him, because I like to try to get to know kids, especially if I don't know them. And you know, my thoughts and prayers go out to him, because what parent wants to get either a call like that in the middle of the night or a knock on the door like that? That's a scary thought. I can't even imagine, you know, how I would react if he was, you know, mine. So my thoughts and prayers go to Mr. Raymond Lewis and his family in this hour, and my condolences to his family as well. So thank you.
Yeah, I haven't been able to speak with Mr. Lewis, but my thoughts and prayers do go out to him and his family. And the thing that hits me the most is, you know, what parent deserves to have to bury their child in any circumstances. But this one's very tragic. Like you said, like all of y'all saying, hopefully we can band together as a city, regardless of what district it's in, and really put an end to this kind of violence. And honestly, just put the guns down. I mean, that's the outcry that we really want to put the guns down. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anything further? Yes, ma'am.
Just a little bit. I communicated with Shudu. We did one term together, one first term, and Shudu is, you know, he's Shudu. There's only one. And I just, you know, I saw the news clip and people are calling me, and of course, you know, it's a small town and we're elected, so when there's some news, everybody wants to be in the business. And what kind of kid was it? And it, you know, he had a good kid, but it's like, that's not the point. the point isn't what kind of kid was it. The point is why is this happening, and why aren't people getting caught immediately to deter it? And we're in the process of bettering that situation, and you have to trust in God that everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. And there is no doubt in my mind that this is going to put a fire behind Shudu like no other to do something in our community, because if there's one thing you know about Shudu, is he knows the people. He knows his people, And, I think not only they're going to find out soon who it is, but I think it's going to put a fire behind him to make a big difference with these types of situations that are happening in that area of town, because he's not gonna let it go, and maybe that's what maybe that's part of what we need. I don't know, but I just know that something good always comes from something bad, if you believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, our service should do probably longer than anybody. And one thing about him, when he talked about his son, he always had a look in his eyes, but with his son, he had a different look.
Called him Dookie.
He had a lot of hope, and he had him on a pedestal. I mean, and wanted big things to happen, because he had so many bad things happen in Shudu's life himself, with always illness or someone pass, or just his life in general. And this was his hope. And I couldn't handle it. And maybe he'll, like you said, with the Lord's help and the prayers, he'll make him move forward. But I know it's gonna be hard. I can't even think about that would happen. But like you said, out of every bad, you got good. And I hope there's a lot of good come out of this, because this is really almost nonsense for something like this to happen.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Everybody commented? I just ask one more time, if you know something, please put it out there. Our police department's working this. This is a tragedy in our city, and it happened in Dodge City. I know somebody saw something. We do have people that we are investigating, but if you know something, come forward, please. This is important for our community, to pull our community together, and our police are gonna solve this, so the sooner the better. You know something, please come forward. Thank you. Moving on, Madam Clerk, item 4.
Resolutions. A, resolution accepting the low bid and awarding the contract to Tandem Instrumentation and Electrical in the amount of $379,286 for the project entitled Teep Bayou Wastewater Treatment Plant Electrical Improvements 2019 for the city of New Iberia, Louisiana, and Iberia Parish Sewage District Number 1, and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all contracts in connection therewith.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Swear. Do I have a second?
Second.
I think maybe Councilman Broussard took the lead. All right, do we have any discussion?
Mayor, I do.
Yes, sir.
The company that got the bid, where are they out of? Do you know?
I don't, but our wastewater director is here.
Port Allen?
There you go.
Is this one of the projects that 50% is going to be paid by the parish?
It is, yes, yes.
Are we handling, I guess we're handling the project and can be reimbursed by that?
That we are.
Thank you so much.
Good. Anything further? Seeing nothing, hearing nothing, please vote your machines. Thank you all very much.
Oh, Sharon, did you vote?
Did you
Did you vote?
Did you vote? Please vote your machine.
There you go.
Thank you. Item 4B.
Resolution accepting the low bid and awarding the contract to Minville Lumber Company in the amount of $724,112 for the project entitled Phase 1 Renovations to the Dock Lorries Wing in New George Rodriguez Park, and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents in connection therewith.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Guidry. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Lewis. Is there any discussion on this item? Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
It looks like we're, for the second time bidding, that we had a lot of closed bids.
We did. They were
And,
very close. Within $2,000 on
yeah.
700 something thousand. That's
And I
as
was
close as you can get.
asked by a few people about the money that's gonna be used to build this, where is it coming from?
Bulk of the funds are coming from the state. This is a project that we obtained through capital outlay. Many of the matches are handled by the museum themselves, from design fees to additions to the museum that have already been paid for with other funds. That has helped us greatly with our match for this project. The property was donated for the park, so that's a big portion of it. So that's kind of in a nutshell where our funds are coming from.
But, I mean, I was telling people that the money that came out of the city's budget was pretty minimal.
It is. It is. I mean, we
Right.
have a match, and there are other phases of this project coming. But we are comparable. You know, if you have a 20% match and you get $700,000, and a portion of that match is in kind,
Right.
in property and work and labor on our part, it's a good deal. I mean, what we're getting out of the deal for what we're putting up is something that's going to serve our community for a long time. And that Doc Voorhees wing is where the Kathleen Blanco exhibit's going to be. Roderick Park is our other native son that we have a sculpture that's going up there. So,
Well, and I think it's one of the great things of downtown New Iberia, but some people just don't understand that the monies that we use for the road repair or stuff is different monies that's being used for stuff like this. And
we need a bond so badly for roads.
But
and I see Facebook and people
Yeah.
are now having a competition for the worst street. I see all of
right.
that. Next year we can do a small road bond in 2023, and if I can get creative and with your help, we might pay a bigger bond off early to where we really could do more streets and not wait till 2023. But it's a different pot of money. When you look at and I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a second. When you look at the boat slips that are coming, the museum, the walking trails, the kiosk, the red dot, all those things that are all cultural in nature. Those are the grants that are out there. Those are the grants that we can obtain. Because we have a historic district, because we have such a long, diverse history in our whole community, those are the kind of grants we can get. So we apply for them because we put up 20% and we get 80%. We're making our money move, and that's going right along with the momentum of the new stores, the businesses that are coming, the good things that are happening in our community. It all goes hand in hand to send that message that, we're New Iberia proud and we're coming back and we're on the move. But you're right. I get calls, well, how come you can't find a grant to fix my street? They don't have a grant to fix your street, because if they did, I'd be applying for it. Many, many things that people want or say the city needs, which I'm not saying that they're not right, there just isn't a grant out there for it. Anything we can pursue in a grant that I can put up 20% to get 80%, I'm on it. But unfortunately, some of these things don't exist. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
I'm glad, Mayor. I just wanted to explain
Okay.
that to the public,
No, that's
because
fine.
talking about boat slips and museums and people saying my feeling fell off down Iberia Street.
Yeah,
This is a whole different thing. But I'll bring it up at the meeting.
I thank you for bringing it up. We can't say it enough because it's the truth. But
Thank you.
Okay.
Mayor?
Okay. Yes.
I'm glad the Mayor Pro Tem brought that up, because I got kind of a few calls about it too, and they wanted to know where we got that type of money, but then we can't fix our roads and on and
Right.
on and on.
I understand.
And so I'm so glad that you got on your soapbox and you explained that there's not a grant for that. Thank
Good.
you. It's a capital outlay project for the roads.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I just wanted to make a comment because I didn't know that there was a Facebook poll going
It was
on
just I just saw it
about
once or
what's
twice.
the worst street and what's this or that. I'm on a Facebook fast, a social media fast.
Smart.
I committed to a full year.
Wow.
Yes, and
It's a long year.
yeah, and I'm like the borderline millennial. Like I'm not a millennial, but like 3 years.
Borderline.
I am a borderline. So that's a big deal for us to get off of there. But it's like you just see so much negativity, and then someone says something negative, and then it puts another person in a negative state. And it just goes on and on and on. But my response to that is our past mayor. We were almost flat out of money, and she was bonding the last dollar she had to get $2 million to do all the roads we did. We did what, 15 roads last term?
Mayor, It's a long time ago.
15. We went to the parish. They put up another 400,000. I mean, you can only do so much with what you have, and I just, you know, I get calls like that. I get calls like that about Jane Street and Sugar Mill because they're kind of both in my district, but they're state highways, and people don't understand that the state doesn't want to come redo them. They want me to take them on and the city to redo them, and it's like, well, the state has more money than the city. Why would we? You know, it's just, I just ask people, you know, and the Facebook thing, it's like, are these all registered voters? Are these people who actually care? Are they people who just want to talk? I'm serious. It really, you know, to me, people who truly care are going to call and contact their representatives and ask. Not, you know, it's real easy to just pick up your phone and type a random degrading sentence. So I just, you know, I don't know. That's just hard to hear that they're doing a poll. That's depressing for me. That's where people are. Sorry.
It's kind of fun. But
Dan started it. Sorry.
I know, it's okay. It's okay.
I don't like hearing stuff like that because
He started the poll.
we try hard. Oh, you started it.
The mayor started it.
It's just we try really hard, and
We're gonna get there. This is all motivation. Mr.
Smart.
Broussard.
Since we're off topic a little bit, I want
Okay.
to give a praise. Mr. Leroy, you're jumping all over town. You're repairing streets.
We're way in the weeds.
I appreciate what you do in my district, but it's a positive that we're doing as much as we can with the money we have, and I thank you for that.
Okay. Thank y'all.
Man, I'm gonna kind of get back. You know, I'm gonna kind of bring us back on.
to topic.
I'm gonna kind of bring us
Look,
back.
man, thank you.
Well, no, what it is,
Well, no.
and I understand what Dan, what your constituents, which is all our constituents, are telling you, as well as Sherry. But I get it because I represent an underserved community. One of my mentors told me, he said, well, she said, it was a she. She said, Marlon, you need to get involved so that you can help people understand what they don't know. She said, because people don't know what they don't know. Now, with that being said, I think what my community is concerned about, it's not that we understand, because I'm telling them, we understand that you can't use money for nature to fix roads. We understand you can't use money for nature or for museums to put into public housing or into housing revitalization or housing demolition. They understand that. But what my community and my constituents are not understanding and what they are seeing is they feel like they're getting left behind in terms of the energy that is put into these things. You see? And that's hard to explain. You see, so we have to have more movement towards the other underserved communities in terms of, hey, you know, we spoke a while back about the wraps for the electrical boxes and things like that, which is a great idea. And I thought it fell on deaf ears till I heard Freddie and Mr. Arlene mention it again. So, yeah, we have to continue to complain. Everything that we need and want in this city is complaint driven. And I got elected to complain for about 5,000 people. And if I don't, they're not going to elect me again. So I think it's a way to fight and it's a way to talk about this. And I think we are on subject. Because the money was capital outlay, right? Most of it for the museum, right? So, I mean, we need to do some politicking in the future to get some capital outlay money to do some things in the western community, downtown, different other underserved communities. And I know it ain't easy.
Don't disagree. And this money,
We do have some money for downtown.
we do.
You know, so I
And this money we didn't even apply for.
So I think,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring us back on topic.
You know,
We didn't even apply for this money in our capital outlay.
right.
We were given this money.
So that's what I'm trying
It
to
wasn't
bring.
even our energy or our politics that got this money.
Right. Well, you never know. It might have been our prayers, which is energy.
Well, I'll take that, but it motivated somebody else because it wasn't us. But we'll take it.
But that's what I'm trying to bring to the table,
I understand.
Mayor. Energy and momentum.
I understand.
One more
Can
comment.
you clear up about the downtown area concerning Pesson Elementary and what we're working on their capital outlay
Yeah, well,
project?
we're really off topic. Why don't we?
Well, I mean, it's on the table, so.
Yeah, that's another grant that
Because
we're
that
going
is not
after.
part of my
We
district,
have a
and-
meeting on
yeah.
that.
We had a meeting on
We
that.
had a meeting on that last week. We have another one scheduled, and it's in the works. We're looking for some right-of-ways.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Thing,
anything else?
just to answer,
Somebody save me and bring me back to please
Mr. Lewis.
this
No,
resolution.
I'm not bringing you back. We're going off a little bit. Is
Yeah,
that
thank you.
many dollars we got as an Amico Canal, as downtown Hopkins Street, if it wouldn't have been in that criteria of that area, we wouldn't have got it.
Right, correct.
We wouldn't have got it on this side. So there's a lot of dollars that does go in that your district that we wouldn't have got if it wouldn't be because of
For that district.
That district. So yeah, it works all the way around.
Yeah, I got
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's working,
Yeah.
but we got to continue working.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Speaking of work, we're back on item 4B after a long trip in the weeds. I'm not saying it wasn't valuable though. So, do I have any more discussion on this item, or can we vote on this item? No more discussion? Although I enjoyed
Any
it.
questions for Paul?
Do we have any questions for Paul before we vote? Because he's been standing up there for. Okay. Y'all good?
Like, I'm in the clear.
Well then, please vote your machines.
It was the mayor, not me.
Great, thank you. And I'll caution all of us, including myself. I started it. We all went in the weeds. So we'll get better.
Gavel us.
I have to gavel myself.
Give it then, I'll
Madam
gavel you.
Clerk, item 4C.
Is Paul gonna sit down?
No, Paul has this next item too, so we might have a question for Paul.
Resolution accepting administrative change order number 1 for the City Park Fire Station canopy to adjust the contract to include repair costs for termite damage in the amount of $1,572 for a final contract price of $10,569.
So moved.
Do I have a motion? Motion by the Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Swear. Do we have any discussion on this item or any questions for Paul?
How bad is it, Mr. Paul?
Oh.
How bad was the termite damage? Oh no, I love this little building.
It's very bad.
It's very bad.
Yeah, it's hidden damage, and Heather's quite aware of it, so is Freddie. But it looked like it had been damaged several years ago, but it was quite extensive.
Is it on like the side where y'all, like where the double doors are to go out to the back patio?
Correct, and
I
the
figured.
entire connection point where we're supposed to connect the canopy to, there's nothing to connect it to.
Yeah.
It's all.
So
And I'm sorry, I'm only started the whole, can we get a canopy? I want a canopy, but it's gonna be so worth it.
mhm,
This building is so worth preserving.
I agree.
It is.
We agree.
It's so adorable. It has like the vaulted ceiling. It's just perfect. Okay, well I figured it out. I mean, with the roof and the way it just looks like it. Poor thing had just been Band-Aid after Band-Aid.
That's what I do my Pilates.
Do we have any further discussion? Thank you.
Yeah, Mayor. Since this is going off track night, we talk.
that was about
We
the
talk.
building.
No, I'm talking about me. I'm about to go off track. We talking about park, and I'm gonna be honest. I cannot leave this meeting. I was gonna wait till them, but when we looked at that video for the camp,
Yes.
and they were entering into the doors of the Western Park, I thought they were entering into Angola somewhere. Them doors need painting in the park.
Okay.
I didn't like that. I saw it with my own eyes. I didn't like it. Now, maybe y'all didn't feel it.
I
felt
did.
it.
I saw it and I felt it. I'm gonna be
I felt
honest. I
it.
saw it.
And no, I know.
But that doesn't mean Heather's not working
Heather's
on
doing
it.
a
We
great
actually
job.
have painting in this year's budget of both of the gyms because they both. You're on a good subject. They both need it. Believe me.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't, those doors need paint. All those entrances need paint and all that stuff. That paint ain't cheap. Paint ain't expensive. It's not expensive.
I agree. Point taken.
And it don't take much to spruce up with a little paint.
Dustin.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Councilman Swear.
thank you. I haven't really said much tonight, but I really just want to make a comment. We have been as a council for how long now? Almost 3 years? Okay.
Yeah.
We've been making some good decisions based on where we see fit, and we've done a lot in City Park, not only City Park, but West End Park. We've done, we have new playground equipment, splash pad. Yeah, I do agree. We looked at the video and they had the worn outdoors. I get it. I totally get it. We have some worn outdoors in City Park too. We have some worn outdoors in other buildings also. But I just want to make the point that we are, as a council, spending money in West End and other areas. And we're going to continue. I'm sure we will. We're going to keep continuing that, no doubt about it. So I just wanted to make that comment. I haven't been saying much tonight. I've just been listening. So I just wanted to make it clear. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Well, good. Please vote your machines. Great, thank you all very much. Thank you, Paul.
Yes, sir.
Now we head to big discussion. Item 5.
Okay. We have 3 properties that we want to add to the agenda under item number 5, under property standards for setting a public hearing on these properties. And those properties are 221 Johnson Alley, 802 East Pershing Street, and 543 Lafayette Street. So I'll need a motion.
Do I have a motion to add these properties?
Motion, second.
Okay, motion by Councilman Lewis, second by Councilwoman Guidry. Please vote your machines to add these. Wait, we have a question?
I do have a question. 221 Johnson Alley was already voted on in a public hearing in the past. So my question is to Jeff is why do we have to vote for Johnson Alley to be put back, or can we vote tonight to be on the original list that it was on originally on?
Right now, we're just
Well,
setting a public hearing.
I think what went out in the package didn't have 221 Johnson Alley,
It did.
right?
It did.
And then there were 2 properties that Councilwoman Guidry had told me about, 802 East Pershing and 543 Lafayette Street. So I did the work on these 3, got that to Jimmy. That was done after the packets were prepared. So the motion, you know, what you have in the package didn't include 221, and now we're trying to include 221.
And the other 2 items.
So I don't know why we don't just.
I
include
understand.
221.
I get that part, but the part that I don't understand is why it was taken off the list. It was originally on the list. We voted for it with all the rest of the properties. So why was it taken off the list, and now we have to come back and put it?
That's the one we couldn't find it on.
Yeah, there's no record owner in the assessments or anything. Also, I was told there was a building permit that was pulled for that property, and it turns out it wasn't pulled for that property, it must have been pulled for something else. So there was some confusion, and then it just took a while to check this thing out.
Okay. Is there a way that I can maybe make a substitute motion to put that back on the original list with because we're ratifying the night?
Well, now it will move, correct me if I'm wrong, with the action we take tonight, it's back in the same boat with all the rest of it.
Right.
So you
Okay,
don't
so-
lose,
There's one list.
This is one.
yeah,
one list.
it makes one list.
So it's gonna make a complete list with
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't lose any time or anything.
That was my main
I
worrying
can
about
tell.
time.
In other words, we didn't act in these other ones yet, so by slipping it in tonight, we're really back to that same list and moving at the same pace. So you don't lose anything. It wouldn't have happened any quicker, be it that they couldn't find the owner and it got dropped off the
Right.
list. Now that it's back on tonight, you're back on track.
Okay.
We the only lost, and Jeff, I just want to make sure, because this
We
could
didn't lose
happen
anything.
again. We the only lost time had we already made the list out for public hearing. The list hasn't went out, so therefore it's
Right.
gonna make the cut to be on the original list.
Right.
But had they not caught this before tonight, had Jeff caught this
Yeah, if you hadn't
2
brought it
days
up-
from now, then you'd have been in a bind.
Yeah, if Dustin hadn't have brought it up, then it would have got left behind. But where we are now, we back even. Does that answer your question?
That's fine.
Okay,
That's fair to me.
Can we
Good.
vote to add?
good. So we need to vote to add those 3.
All right.
Please vote your machines. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, now we have a complete list,
Okay,
and now we can go back and
to number 5.
to number 5.
Okay.
And I can ask for a motion, and do you need to read them all? Guess you do.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Property standards set in public hearing. Resolution set in public hearing on October 15, 2019 for the ratification and confirmation of demolition of the following properties: 806 Buckeye, 807 Bush Alley, 505 Doré Alley, 625 and 625 and a half Emory Lewis Avenue, 1405 Iberia, 720 Mary, 107 Monterey, 133 Reynolds, 604 Rosalie, 711 Rosalie, 203 School, 221 Johnson Alley, 802 East Pershing Street, and 543 Lafayette Street.
Do
we
I have a motion? Motion by Councilman Lewis and a second on this end by Councilman Swift. Do we have any discussion on these properties?
Long overdue.
Calling our city attorney?
Yeah, I just want to point out that We're trying to do a thorough job of identifying anybody who has a legal interest in the properties. In some cases, that's gonna be owners. In some cases, it's owners plus people who have judgments against the owners. We've got one property, I think it's got a mortgage on it. So we've got a number of different people to notify on this list. So this is gonna be a lot of work for the inspection department to get the notices out. So I just wanna say, some of these have 6 or 8 people you have to notify. So there's gonna be a lot that gets done. I'm thinking they can get that done by, in time for the October 15th meeting. But, the appointed attorney's gonna have to get some of this. There's a lot of process here. So this represents a lot of work for those guys.
Mayor, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I know we accepted those 3 homes or properties. Will we be, y'all be sending us a description of them? Because the description of them is not in our packet.
When,
You mean like pictures?
yeah,
This. The description of the property. You see the description of these properties?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see those 3 in here.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
since we
because we
added
just
them.
added
I know, but
Yeah.
we will,
Oh,
that's
yes.
what I'm saying.
Certainly,
Yes,
certainly.
yes.
That's what I thought you were heading to.
List.
But
Yeah.
you will email that?
Sure, I can
Yes.
do that.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was on the topic, huh?
Good
Yeah.
job.
Okay.
Anything further? Hearing nothing further, I'll ask you to please vote your machines. That's good. Thank y'all very much.
Marlon?
Marlon? Vote your machine. Thank you, thank you. I know. All right, thank y'all.
Okay.
Now we move on to item 6. Madam Clerk?
Introduction of special ordinance to be set for public hearing on September 3rd, 2019. Introduction of budget amendment number 2018-2019-13, amending the ordinance levying certain taxes, appropriating the funds necessary to defray the expenses and liabilities of the city of New Iberia for the year 2018-2019. To amend the budget to account for donation from Community Foundation of Acadiana and the expenses to repair park equipment and to account for storm barrier debris removal costs.
Do I have a motion? Motion, Councilman Lewis. Do I have a second? Second, Councilwoman Lopez. We have any discussion or questions on this item?
I got a question, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
On the disaster relief fund, that you have a $375,000 debris removal. Does that include everything, the engineering, everything?
I am waiting on one more bill, I think, from engineering. This gets us up to date, but Bayrod Habits, who were the monitors, will have one more bill.
I think that's gonna be more than that.
And so the total is gonna go up. But for now, I need to amend this so I can pay the bills. But we will probably have one more bill from, I think all of Gordon's tickets are in, but we're waiting on the monitor, Bayrod and Habits, to send their final.
And we still have a possibility, some reimbursement from the state if we can, and that money will be put back into the fund.
If we get reimbursed one nickel, it's gonna, and we're working on that. Believe me, Maxine has been on that since the beginning. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of time. We've all been making calls, trying to assure that this happens. Any dime I get back for that will go back into that fund, believe me, because we need it. We had $500,000 in the fund, if you remember. We will probably use, a good chunk of that, and you'll see in the new budget, I'll be asking to, replenish that, because if we get a hurricane, we have to be prepared. But we are certainly hopeful that we are reimbursed.
One more question. And,
Sure.
I remember us maybe taking $100,000 or something from that fund at the beginning. You remember?
You're right. We
Okay.
took $200,000 out to bring on the police staff
Right.
early, and as soon as the tax passed, we paid the money back.
That's just
So that money is back in that account.
Okay.
And we've never touched it again.
good. Thank you.
Anything further? None? Great. I'll ask you to please vote your machines. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, looks like we have no discussion items. I'll move on to Councilman remarks, and it's my turn to start on Dustin's end.
All right, thank you. First tonight, I'd just like to send out prayers to everyone that's going through hardship right now. We just talked about, one earlier, two earlier actually. There's other people that are fighting those same battles today. So I just want to send those condolences out to all those other families and prayers. So thank you.
Councilman Gideon.
I just want to thank Councilman Marlon Lewis for getting me and Mr. Polk, Michael Polk, I think it was. He said that you gave him my number. I appreciate you extending that out to me, and I was able to kind of see what I can do for him. So I really appreciate you doing that. Your church, Councilman Lewis, Mount Calvary Baptist Church of New Iberia is hosting a community impact revival August the 27th, 6 p.m. on the corner of Ann Street and 20 Alpert Road at 6 p.m. August the 28th at the former Bunk Johnson Park on Hopkins Street at 6 p.m. August the 29th, St. Edward's Housing Authority, better known as St. Edward's Projects, at 6 p.m. So these 3 dates, please mark them down. Try to attend if you can. They all start at 6 p.m. It's the 27th, 28th, and 29th. Again, it's a community impact revival. Everyone is invited. District 5 is hosting a quarterly neighborhood watch gathering September the 12th at the Masonic Hall on Ann Street of New Iberia, 6 p.m. We're asking that all residents come out to attend, and this mainly is also for the particular residents that's in that area. Everyone is invited to attend, and door prizes will be given as usual. We have guest speakers lined up, and also to please bring your questions, and I hope to see everyone there that wants to attend. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor, I just want to thank the citizens of New Iberia for being patient with them filming that movie. They are excited. People, I think just putting decorations and making people nicer. So maybe we might want to leave them up year round. But they are, and I think the only thing I'm so upset about is that all the rain these poor people got to go through every afternoon with their equipment filming this. But I want to let you know, I want to thank you, Mayor. I know you're doing a lot to make this happen, but the citizens are happy. I thought more people would complain about traffic, because it don't take much for people to complain, but I think people are happy about this movie happening in town, and that I just want to let you know you did a great job promoting it, and I hope they're pleased with the citizens and pleased with the people that's part of the movie, and I hope it works out, and maybe they'll come back to another one. And do you know about when they be finishing up the movie? Is it gonna be before the Sugarcane Festival?
Certainly, they'll be finished by September the 1st. That'll be done, a wrap, and the movie will be out for this Christmas.
Cool. Thank you.
Good. Mr. Broussard.
Mr. Mayor, we ought to recognize some businessmen, investors, for coming down and tearing the old buildings on Center Street in Dale, which is Johnny Romero. I hope other people will come in my district, buy all the old houses. Come on down. Man, you're helping us out a lot. So I want to recognize not only Johnny, but they have some other business people. We appreciate everything you do for New Iberia. And they have some little homes I've been seeing disappear. Man, they're gone. Hallelujah for somebody investing, taking down these houses so we don't have so much trouble like we're having tonight, getting some of these old houses down. So I want to thank the good things we have going. And I appreciate people coming and invest, at least in District 3. But all over the town, if they can help us, come on and buy these old properties and put something new there. Thank y'all, Johnny Romero.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, I've been riding around with my Christmas hat around town. I forgot, I missed the deadline to, be a double or fill-in. So I've been riding around with my hat. So tell the chief to not arrest me if I jump out at the scene to be in the movie. It is nice though to see that activity around our community. I really think it's nice. The lights bring the town out. I understand it's a Christmas movie. The scene on Main Street is just beautiful. I passed twice. I wait in traffic to kind of see what's happening. That's some good energy. Talked about energy earlier. That's some good energy. On another note, on a serious note, my cousin, who's the principal at Park Elementary, Vernon Rogers, he was shared with me that they're accepting, I think it's pre-K 4-year-olds for open enrollment until they fill up. He told me last week he told me he had 40 slots, and he said there's no deadline until it fills up. And then also, I think John Hopkins as well. I didn't talk to anybody from John Hopkins, but he did mention John Hopkins, and I told him I would announce it during council remarks. Again, there's open enrollment, I think, for 4-year-old pre-K at John Hopkins Elementary and Park Elementary. So, and I think it's a big deal for the kids. I'm not too much into, because all my kids are grown, but I think it's a big deal to know that they got slots for those kids at those schools. Again, pre-K, 4 years old.
Great, thank you. Ella.
I want to piggyback on that because I just can't help myself. Because like my daughter just got into pre-K 4 at Daspit Elementary. And I mean, I was praying and praying and praying that we got in because so many people apply that you can't, like, you're lucky if you get in because they can only fill so many spots. Mm-hmm. So it just kind of saddens me to know that they have all these spots and people aren't taking advantage of it. Parents, if y'all live in these districts, John Hopkins and Parks, this pre-K 4 program is amazing. Each class has a teacher along with an assistant teacher. The kids get free breakfast. They feed them breakfast at 8:30. They get free lunch. And if you work, aftercare is $15 a week. And you don't have to pick them up till around 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, I mean, if you have a 4-year-old, for $120 a month, your child can get education, 2 meals, and a snack and aftercare. I mean, you cannot beat that with the price of childcare these days. I mean, previously when I had her in home, it was $400 a month. So, I mean, you just cannot beat it, and they keep them separate from the other grades. And when they're on the bus or in the car, they have an assistant specifically walk the pre-Kers to their class so they're not lost or, just overwhelmed by the older students. So just please go to the school board and take advantage of this, because I just can't express enough how much I hope that my daughter was going to get in. And it's just take advantage of it. Other than that, the only announcement I had was we got a press release last week that Gordon's yard waste was going to be back on schedule this week. Yeah. They start on my district, in District 1. They usually get to my house by late Monday or early Tuesday morning, and I'll be happy to report that when I got off of work today at noon, the sofas that were down my street had already been picked up. So they are running on track, and just be patient. And thank you for being patient. But I have to put this little tidbit out there because it shocked me. My boss overheard me on the phone, my sweet boss from Colorado. She said, "What are you talking about, yard waste?" I said, "Well, when we clean out our houses and stuff, we just put our stuff to the road and they come pick it up." She said, "Ew, I never heard of that." I said, "What do you do?" She said, "We have to pay for someone to come pick it up and bring it." And I get all that. Y'all pay taxes and y'all, we've always had yard waste. So if we take it away from y'all, I get it. What you've always had, you can't take it away. But it is a blessing that we have that in our community and that we have Gordon's so close by, and that he cares so much to keep doing it for us, and we keep making him cut his costs, poor thing. And he keeps doing it. So, if something happens to poor Gordon, I don't know what we're gonna do, but I don't know. The money, I don't know. But, so they're running on track. They're coming. Thank you for being patient. You continue to be patient. And that's it.
Great. Dan, you had one other.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this. One of my good friends been putting on a thing for the Wounded Warrior Heroes, taking them fishing. And I was part of that this weekend. And his name is David Deflees. And these people in New Iberia came up and paid for everything, a bunch of businesses, to take these people and wine and dine them for 2 days. They're from all over the state. Okay. It's just amazing, and it's the people that I was so shocked that I would never thought they would put up their dollars to help the wounded warriors as much as anybody they come across. And I want to thank them because it's a emotional thing to see these people. I know we say the pledge every time we come to a meeting, but you say the pledge of these people, it brings it home. And I want to just thank all the people. There's so many people that gave to this situation that we had, didn't even want to know their name. They didn't want to have no promotion or nothing, just to help them. And I want to thank David and his group for doing this for 5 years, and hope to do it again. It was a very, very meaningful thing, and New Iberia came through again. It was just a great thing. I want to thank them.
It's just about aftercare. I added it up wrong in my head. It's not $120 a month.
It's cheaper than that.
It's $60 a month.
Well, unless you have 2 kids.
Right.
I wasn't gonna say
No, but if
anything.
you have 2 kids and you put them in
got
aftercare,
it.
you get a discount. It's
Oh,
only
you got it.
$160.
Maybe 2.5 kids. I don't know.
We got it. All right. I just
Very
have.
cheap to put your kid in pre-K 4 with aftercare. $60 a month.
Thank you. I just have a couple of real quick ones. I met with the producer today on the movie, as I do almost every day, and he and his team just remarked that they haven't had another community do what we have done. The amount of outpouring of, the decorations, just the volunteerism, the amount of extras, everything involved. They just kind of wanted me to pass on that they are very, very impressed with the city of New Iberia. They are looking for opportunities to come back. I think that we are making a very good impression. And 2 weeks to go. This will all be over by September the 1st. Sugarcane Festival's coming. It's got a lot of changes. I think it's going to be really exciting this year. And my next thing is next month is budget month. All this energy we got, all these projects we talk about, okay? I'm already making a list. But just remember, this process, all the things we're talking about now that are happening is because we put them in the budget already. We talked about many of them. We said they were coming. So put your hats on, think creatively. Now's the time to add projects. Now's the time for us to sit down and talk and like wrapping those utility boxes or painting those gyms, or those are the kind of things that now's our time to think about it, talk about it as a group, pick the best projects so that we can proceed with that. And, if it's not in the budget, it becomes harder and harder as the year goes on. So just put your thinking caps on. I love the energy, and let's get out of here. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you.